We had a big crew of friends, and it was Ottawa. It was the early '90s, like everywhere else in the world. A bunch of young black cats, and you're young, you're full of energy, you're getting into a little mischief, and then you're doing a little good stuff. Every it's the same. Every crew, kids are the same nowadays. So like in '94, my mom and actually Masani, who actually works at York University now. Masani's my aunt, and she had something called Rastafest. Started it in Ottawa.
Is that still going right now? Rastafest?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. She still does Rastafest, but we were doing Rastafest in Ottawa because my mom and Masani was my aunt. We were all living in Ottawa. So my mom they all put in some money, and we started a little studio, and that's where I recorded my first song in '94. We did all this stuff. So there was like this community center that Masani and Rastafest and everyone put on. So kids would come and record and make music. But the thing was, some of the dudes in the crew were like, this was like right around when Boys in the Hood came out, South Central Menace to Society, for real. And like young black men, whatever's going on in hip hop culture, cats is getting influenced by it.
New Jack City.
Yeah, New Jack, like seriously, cats is getting influenced. It's just no different than it is today. But so we had our crew Nextra, and some of the cats in the crew, they actually saw the movie South Central. It wasn't as big as it was.
South Central was a pretty big movie.
Yeah, it was pretty
big.
Say
it?
Yeah, you know. Yeah, exactly. You know it. You know it because you know why. You know why that's so important. Because remember, there was a crew. There was Deuces, and then there was a crew called Ace, right?
Yeah. I remember that.
And like some of my homeboys in Ottawa, cats got really influenced by it, and like really they got caught up in some street life and some gang lifestyle. So some of the cats in Nextra broke off and actually they started a crew called Ace Crew. And this was like just straight crime. They were dealing guns, they were selling coke, they were prostitution, just selling everything, like stealing cars, like mad street crime. And these are boys that I was rhyming with, freestyling with, smoked my first weed with, like chilled out my first girls with, house parties. And then, that was 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, cats started doing different stuff. And the crime started getting more serious. So what happened is, like, this shit is real history. In summer of '96, some of the dudes in the Ace Crew, they were getting kind of too big for their own good in the criminal underground, and they got caught up in some really serious shit. Long story short, I mean, this is all out there now, and I just want to get it all captured, and I'm not doing no snitching or nothing, because it was in Maclean's magazine, and it was national news, but like, they ended up killing a crackhead, some dudes that I knew, and I was at the murder scene 2 days before it happened, and there's some other stuff in the story that I don't even want to talk about. You can literally look up in Maclean's magazine, Ace Crew, and you'll see some crazy shit. So they ended up killing a crackhead. Some bad stuff happened to some girls that you can't even imagine. And I just finished high school. Me and my brother were like, yo, we done a couple shows. And I was just like, there ain't nothing going on in Ottawa. I'm 18. There's no music industry here. I don't see nobody succeeding. Videos, radio, nothing. There's nothing here. I'm like, if I don't get out of here now, my boys that just got sent away for this murder charge, I'm gonna have a very similar future. So like, that's when I was in Ottawa, '96. I'm like, I'm moving to Toronto. I'm coming back to the city I was born. Moved back here, went straight to music college, and literally ever since '96 till now, 2009, all I've been doing is music in Toronto. Hip hop scene, just focused, stay out of crime. I'm like, yo, I don't want to do nothing criminal in Toronto. The worst I'm doing is smoking a spliff. I'm not getting caught in no crime. And one of the dudes that actually killed that crackhead hit me up on MySpace a couple of years ago, and it was just like, yeah, I'm out of jail now. They got one dude got 8 years and one dude got 6 years, and he came out. Cats live in small town Ontario right now, and is just trying to put his life back together, and it's just like, and this dude the dude that did it was like, in our crew, we used to call him Young Snoop, because this dude was tall, light-skinned, weed-smoking, like, slick-looking cat, like this, the voice, like, gangster voice, and like, if he kept rhyming, like, he was like the closest thing that Canada would have to Snoop Dogg, like, not even to like, just reduce him to that, but like, he was really talented, just slick flow and just really good off the head, but like, just like every dude and everybody, you know, you got choices. We all got the streets, but it's like, yo, how far is the streets gonna take you? How far can hip hop take you? And like, we had a crew, and the crew broke in half. Half of them went to the streets and jail for 8 years, and had a good little run for a summer where they were all like selling guns and doing coke and whatever. But the reason I'm saying all this is because this is serious history that I want documented, because two major things happened. Me and my brother came down here and did a show at Planet Mars.
History right there.
Super history. This has never been captured on tape, so that's why I want this known. We did a show, me and my brother in Supreme Being Unit. We came here and hooked up with my boy Thriesight, who is Socrates' drummer, and we're doing a show at Planet Mars. DJ Sirius is spinning, Planet P's there. So this is, I'm like, yeah. So we come down here and we're performing. We're here rocking in Kensington, and this was right after my friends murdered that crackhead in Ottawa. And they were on the run. They were literally on the run. There was a Canada-wide warrant. My boy, the Young Snoop guy, his face is on the cover of the Ottawa Sun. Like, there is a, like, when you go to the mailbox one day and you see your homeboy, his fucking mugshot on the cover of the newspaper, you're like, damn, is it that serious? And it was like, it was that serious. So we come down to Planet Mars, me and my brother, we're rocking. We're like, yeah, we're in Toronto, great, Ottawa's there, whatever, my friends are whatever. Damn, like, I'm glad I'm rhyming. So we're rhyming, the whole club is packed, I'm rhyming, and then I turn my head and I look, and I see the two guys that are on the run. Me and my brother look, we're like, holy shit. So, and then they look at us and they were like, yo, what are you guys doing here in Toronto? And we're like, yo, what are you doing here in Toronto? I'm like, in my head, like, we're rocking, we do the show, but in my head, I'm like, those are my boys who are on the run for a murder charge right now with a warrant across Canada. Bomba clot, what is going on? Look, and their eyes are like, do not give me a shout out on the mic, do not say that we're here. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I know. Believe me, I'm not gonna say nothing. So we do the show. The show is done, and then me and my brother walk away, and we're like, I go up to my dude. I'm like, yo, what are you? I'm like, I look at him. I'm like, yo, what's going on? And they're like, yeah, we're on the run right now, yo. Shit happened. Crackhead got killed in Ottawa. We're here on the run right now in Toronto, on the lam, like for real, running from the cops. Canada-wide war. So I was just like, I'm glad I got to see you, man. I mean, I'm like, take care, dudes. I'm like, yo, like, I'm rhyming. Like, y'all are killing crackheads on the run. Like, shit sucks. Life's hard, man. But like, mad peace and love. And one of them ended up going to Winnipeg and got caught there. And then one tried to go to Halifax. And I think he got caught between here and Montreal. And, yo, like, mad peace to you guys. Peace to the Ace crew. You guys know, like, we all choose our life paths. And it was crazy, but like, yeah, man, like I was crazy, man. I'll never forget that moment in my life seeing in Planet Mars. I'm like, damn. I'm like, you were on the cover of the paper, homie, like, on the run. But yeah, I mean, so, and no, Ace Crew and Extra, a lot of these guys, really, really talented cats, incredibly talented, that just, cats, There's the thing about Ottawa, like, it really crushes dreams, because it's not like Toronto, Toronto, at least cats come here, and there's a lot of talented people here, so you feel like you can make it in the game, even though a lot of Toronto MCs don't make it. Yeah. And if you're in Ottawa, you just feel like there's no future. You're just like, there's barely any shows here, there's barely any clubs, there's barely any radio, like, you feel like you have no hope for your career.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Well, you're coming from like the 1980s, 1990s, that kind of era sector of hip hop in like Canada, like in general, right? So you're kind of not commuting, but you're transferring information, lyrics, song, beats, and all this stuff from Toronto to Ottawa and back and forth because your boys were here.
Mm-hmm.
So from then till now, what would you say is like the progression, or is a positive, even what's your positive feedback on hip hop era right now as compared to when like 15, 20 years ago when you were doing it? Like, what would you say to like youths now that are like trying to come up and do their thing?
My favorite thing really is what Nas said. Carry on tradition, like straight up, like beats, rhymes, truth. Your life, your story, your hood, your community, that's all it is. Hip hop is a beast that never is full. Like hip hop always needs new stories, new street names, new faces, new sounds, new MCs, new producers, new dancers, new girls. So like everyone already knows about Brooklyn and Long Beach, and everyone knows about Houston. Like there is a point in time where it's like the light is shining up here. People need to know about Rexdale and Markham and Ottawa and hoods in Montreal and hoods in Winnipeg and little parts of Vancouver, cities and real hip-hop communities of people just doing their thing. Because that's all it is. Anyone around the world, if somebody's creating something in a little somewhere, that's hip-hop. Doesn't matter who gives a how big or small it is. If you're like doing it, if you're carrying on tradition, you're hip-hop. So like your story should be told. Put it out there. There's a new generation. Like I haven't been to Ottawa in a few years, but I did a show in Montreal early this year with a cat from Ottawa named Flip Kuma, and I was talking to him. I'm like, yo, dude, what's it like in Ottawa now? He's like, yo, there's a whole new generation of cats. So he was telling me, like, there's new kids there doing it still, but he still tells me that it's not much different. Where like there's a couple more clubs and maybe one or two more radio shows, but they tried to do the Flow thing there in Ottawa where they had like a commercial urban radio station. Yeah, but I think it died real quick. Yeah. But like they're trying, but like Ottawa is like, really it's a political town and a computer town. Like it was like Nortel and the Parliament. There was like no arts community, no, like if you're trying to do art there, no, like go there when you're 45 and you want to like settle down with your kids and have a family, because like there's no, that's why these cats got caught up into crime, like, because there's really no future. There's a lot of crime in Ottawa of cats just like bored, and like a lot of talented cats, hip hop cats, just be like, yo, I could do hip hop, but if I'm living in Ottawa, where's it gonna take me? I might as well just screw around and just do some crime tonight, or just get wasted and then just waste my life away or something, which happens too much. But there's a lot of talented cats in Ottawa. And there's one thing I did want to say though, because it wouldn't be Ottawa history if I didn't talk about Clarence Gruff, because Clarence Gruff was the first group from Ottawa, as far as I know, to ever put out a video that was shown on Clarence Gruff. They were put at, their song is called Unsolved Mysteries, and I think it's on YouTube. They were older than all of us. Those three groups that were like the Foundation, Nextra, Prodigies, and Half Size Giants, we were all like 14, 15, but Clarence Gruff was like 19, 20. They had a white MC named Kokomo. I think they had a girl singer. They had a black dude named One Dread Fred, black guy with a One Dread Fred. He had a blonde nappy afro and he had one dreadlock. And they were real street, like street for real. They were like Ace Crew before Ace Crew in Ottawa. A couple of them got deported back to Jamaica. Like they were that criminal. But they were the first real Ottawa rap group to ever put out a video. They put it on Rap City, and everyone was like, holy shit, yo, look, that's Ottawa, and that's Rap City, and they made it, and it's actually possible, and like, yeah. But they were older than all of us, so they didn't really get involved in the scene. They were like, screw you kids. And they were literally, like, they were really dealing drugs. Like, they were really doing stuff, so like, they were no joke, and like, they didn't mess with us little kids, but like, we looked up to them like, yo, Clarence Gruff is doing it, and So, I think you can find that video on YouTube, but I think it's called.
I think I heard of them before. Like this is mid-90s, right?
Yeah.
I heard
Clarence,
Oh,
I don't know.
when I was a kid, I was just like, I'm so intrigued with, MC names and all that sort of stuff. And I was like, Clarence grew up.
Yeah, they had a name before that too, but I don't remember it.
But they didn't do anything after that,
They didn't do too much. They might have put out an EP. I don't remember. They did the video stuff, but they were real about it, and like a couple of them got deported. If I remember correctly, the white MC Kokomo, he even kind of had a name around Canada a bit, and he was they were gonna try and market him like Eminem-ish at a certain point. Yeah, around because he was a decent freestyle MC and whatnot, but then I think he got into a fight at RJ's, which is a big club downtown in Ottawa, which would be like equivalent to Circa here, like this biggest club in the middle of the city. And they smashed the bottle over his head, and man had a big, huge gash, and then he stopped rhyming, and like there was a lot of violence in Ottawa because like just drinking and smoking and like crushed dreams. Like there was a lot of disappointment. A lot of the rap shows that tried to come there never made it. A lot of disappointment.